hunted down by gangs and police for their sexuality. Experience a side of Egypt the government doesn't want you to see.
أهلي يدوروا علي عشان يقتلوني.
With local media silenced, we've been investigating what life's like for some of the most marginalized in society here. Confronting the criminals who extort them. And discovering how it feels to be deceived while looking for love on dating apps online. Attacked and extorted in your home. Exposing for the first time how the government's vice police are cracking down on people who identify as queer, online and in real life.
داخلية يا جماعة داخلية انت بتتصور يا حبيبي انت بتتصور دلوقتي انا اللي كنت بكلمك دلوقتي داخلية.
I've just come across some videos that have been circulating in Egypt, and it's not easy to watch. There are attackers forcing 5 people standing nude in a line to admit that they're members of the LGBTQ+ community. They're shaking and being given orders that they have to comply with.
نزل ايدك تحت بقولك انت لو اتحركت سنه كده سنتي هموتك.
صاحبك كان يشتمني.
انا مالي بصاحبي. ها؟ اعدل شعرك.
I'm Ahmed Shahabuddin. I grew up in Egypt, and I'm a reporter who's been covering stories about social issues in the Middle East and beyond for over a decade. In 2017, a Lebanese band, Mashrou' Leila, who championed gay rights, performed in Cairo. Some concert-goers raised rainbow flags. It resulted in a major public crackdown on the LGBTQ+ community in Egypt.
فين شرطة الآداب من ده؟ هل ده مسموح؟ يبقى موجود في مصر؟ وجه آخر للإرهاب. نشر الشذوذ في مصر.
ده مش حرية شخصية، دي سفالة وقلة أدب وانحطاط.
Dozens were arrested. The only female amongst them was Sara Higazi. She was charged with joining an illegal group and promoting sexual deviancy and debauchery.
بعلن عن نفسي في مجتمع بيكره كل ما هو مختلف عن السائد. كلنا نزلنا الصور بتاعتنا. طبعا ما تخيلناش إن هيبقى في رد فعل بالمشهد ده.
Sara was held in prison for 3 months, where she claimed she was sexually assaulted and tortured. She was then granted asylum in Canada, where she took her own life in June 2020. While there's no explicit law against homosexuality in Egypt, the crime of debauchery, which is originally a sex work charge, is commonly used to prosecute the LGBTQ+ community. The high courts have defined debauchery as sex between members of the same sex, whether for money or not. After the concert, Egypt's Supreme Council for Media Regulation imposed a media blackout on LGBTQ+ representation, except when, and I quote, they acknowledge the fact that their conduct is inappropriate and repent for it. But queer people still exist, of course, even if the government seems to want to make them disappear.
الناس اللي طلعوا علينا هدول كل شغلهم كان في تخطيط. يعني هم حتى عرفوا كيف يدخلوا علينا وكيف ياخذوا اللي بدهم اياه.
After months of trying, our BBC team was able to find Leila, one of the 5 people being abused in the gang attack video that was viewed 2 million times. Like others in the film, Leila's taking a huge risk by talking to us. So to hide her identity, we've changed her name. and she's chosen a 3D face tracking mask, which we designed specially for this documentary. Layla told me that she and her friends were ambushed by someone who she thought could be trusted. But it transpired that they were colluding with the gang.
كانوا أوسخ 6 ساعات بحياتي.
مين كان بالغرفة تتذكري؟ كم واحد؟
5.
مين هاد؟
كان معاهم بيضرب. درج الكرباج كيف إيده. يعني كان ممكن أموت، يعني كان ممكن قلبي يوقف إني بخاف. واحد اسمه يحيى وواحد اسمه بكار، هم الرئيسين العصابة. سمع صوت يحيى؟
هذا صوت يحيى؟
هلا ببين استنى شوي.
ببين؟
هي واد يحيى. هلا بسمع صوت الكفار. شوف مطوة بإيده.
يا عم وانا هم ارقص معاك.
انا بقى اتركوني. لا حلوه الحركات اللي انت بتعملها.
يحيى ضربك؟
ضربنا كلنا يعني.
كان ساكت ولا
هو اللي كان بيسوي.
اوكي. هذا كمان يحيى بس اتذكر.
لازم تشيل هذول الفيديوهات من قدامي.
حاضر.
مقرفين يعني مقرفين، الله يبعدهم عني، الله يحرقهم ويبعدهم منه. يعني شغلهم كيف بدهم ياكلوا، كيف بدهم يشربوا. لازم باليوم يطلعوا لهم موبايلين 3 عشان يروحوا يبيعوهم ويروحوا يسكروا هيك.
There's quite a few warnings online about the 2 main gang members, Yahya and Bakar. This one here reads, beware of these guys. They're thieves. They're the biggest criminals in Egypt. And someone has actually posted Yahya's ID online. I also got sent this video of Yahya. He's using slurs and derogatory terms to refer to gay men. He calls gay men traitors. They're traitors to masculinity, to manhood, to Egypt. It's unclear. Just goes to show that they don't seem to be fearing any sort of consequence or to be held accountable.
There's a new video circulating on Facebook and WhatsApp groups of yet another attack by someone who sounds like Yahya. We can't show you the video as it may identify the victim, but he's young, naked, his hands are tied, and he's being forced to say he's a sex worker. I'm going to meet the person in this video who we're calling Saeed. He's just 18, but after the attack, he decided to try and take legal action.
لما كنت أروح مثلا أعمل بلاغة أو حاجة زي كده، سألت المحامي، قالوا لي أنتوا الاتنين هتتضروا. قلت له إزاي؟ قال لي أنت هتتسجن وهو هيتسجن.
أنت بتشتغل شغل جنسي؟
لا.
لا؟ عشان أنت جاي؟
عشان أنا كده وعشان هو سرق. قال لي بس غلطته مش هتبقى زي غلطتك في المجتمع المصري. هيقولوا مثلا اللي أنا بعمله فجور، حاجة زي كده. بس ده ما حصلش.
وهو إيه هيحصل؟
قضية سرقة. قلت مفيش داعي يعني، ولا حصل. وبعدين مش هيحصل مشكلة أكتر من اللي حصلت يعني. الفيديوهات انتشرت في مصر يعني.
إزاي؟
يحيى طلب مني فلوس، فما كانش معايا اديله فلوس، فكلم أهلي.
كيف بتقضي وقتك؟
في الأوضة. عندي حالة من الاكتئاب أو الملل شوية من ساعة المشكلة اللي حصلت معايا.
ليه أنت جيت النهاردة عشان تقابلني وتقول لي القصة دي؟
هو ممكن تحصل حاجة، أي كان اللي هيحصل فأكيد مش هيحصل ضرر أكتر منه،
We've been told about dozens of attacks like this, 4 by Yahya and Bakkar alone, though there are only a few reports of attackers being arrested. But other gay men who, like Saeed, are not sex workers, have told us they themselves were arrested when they tried to report similar attacks. Others, fearing arrest, say they didn't report incidents of violence against them at all. We haven't been able to confirm their stories. To get away from being persecuted by her family in Jordan, Layla fled to Cairo 3 years ago to apply for asylum. When she showed the video of the attack to one of the refugee agencies advising her, they told her not to go to the police. People we spoke to at the agency said Layla's gender nonconformity may make her a target for arbitrary arrest.
تعرضت لكتير مشاكل، لكتير اضطهاد علشان أنا ترانس. هاد مريض، أخدوني على الشيوخ. كنت أحكي هذا مش جسمي لما بلشت أنضج شوي. ليش بتقصوا لي شعري؟ أزعل لما حد بيقص لي شعري. بابا كان كل ما بيروح من الشغل يضربني. يعني مرة ربطني في شنزير طوله 4 متر 12 يوم بالضبط. هاد لحد الآن بحلم فيه يعني. ما بعرف كيف طريقة تفكير إنه بده يطمن علي. إحنا بالشرق الأوسط كثير صعب نحاول نغير تفكير مجتمع كامل أو نفرض عليهم إنه يتقبلونا. وهذا الإشي مش آمن أبداً.
There's a huge amount of fear and misunderstanding around LGBTQ people in Egypt.
فهي تؤدي إلى أضرار صحية.
عندي ابني في سن المراهقة، اكتشفت إن في علاقة جنسية بينه وبين زمايله الولاد.
يا لطيف، الله يعينك. يعني لازم يبدأ علاج.
مثلية الجنسية هي اضطراب الهوية اللي بيحصل في الطفولة من سن 3 سنين ل7 سنين، وده مرض نفسي.
In the summer of 2022, a new social media movement sprung up in Egypt, encouraging young people to reject homosexuality, along with so-called Western LGBTQ symbology.
الله عز وجل يقول: يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى.
جنسين لا ثالث لهما.
The original Fitra page was banned by Facebook platforms, but it gained millions of followers, and you can still find its message being posted in Arabic across the region on a daily basis. We spoke to people who identify as queer from all walks of life in Egypt who had experienced harassment and abuse. Many who were able to hide their sexuality or find a way to fit in did not want us to share their stories. For some like Layla, hiding is impossible. Her gender identity and sexual orientation are clear to everyone. Layla's found herself homeless twice since I met her, and she can't find a job. I think the fact she feels she has so little to lose is why she feels able to speak to the BBC.
ممكن بس تفسري لنا ليش كنت مضطرة تيجي على مصر عشان تقدمي بهالأسايلم؟
إنه بدي أي أسلوب نجاة يعني، فاهم؟ وأنا هناك في الأردن لازم يكون طالع برا البلد عشان يقدر يكون لاجئ يعني. فسيرش جوجل مثلا.
اوكي.
بليز هيلب مي. فجوجل قال لي على مصر. على مصر. لما بيحكوا لي يو ان اتش سي يلا بطلع بسافر، بيعطوني 400 جنيه بالشهر. ما بعرف كم دولار يعني، 20 دولار
بالشهر.
اما ممكن اعمل 6 ورك مثلا مره بالشهر واقضي الشهر تبعي. بس في لاجئين اكيد ما رح يعرفوا يعملوا هيك يعني.
بس مثلا يعني الشغل اللي بتعمليه غير قانوني فممكن يمسكوكي.
يعني مو شرط يعني انه يكونوا بيشتغلوا عشان ينحبسوا، بيكون طالع في تاكسي يشوفوا شكله مثلا ملفت ولا إشي ياخذوه على الاسم.
بس المجتمع بيعتبره غلط.
هذا الإشي انت مفكر انه رح يكون عار علي او إشي اخبيه؟ لا بالعكس، هذا إشي رح احكيه انه هاي شغلات صعبه بمرق فيها. يعني الشعور بيموتني لما اكون مثلا بتفق مع حدا واروح ابيع جسمي وهيك، اكثر اشي مخوفني انه ماما تشوف هالفيديو يعني.
بدي أسألك عن العصابة.
ما بعرف اخبار عنهم. الوحيدة اللي رح تفيدك في هذا الموضوع جمال. وينك؟
Mustafa is Layla's best friend. He too has been forced out of his family home and is trying to leave Egypt to apply for asylum.
Hello.
He told me he was attacked twice after meeting men on the dating app Grindr.
شو عم تقرا؟ شغل. في اعلان شفته قدامي فبقراه. شركة كبيرة كول سنتر. خريجين بس فقط.
انا بروح بوظفك.
تخيلي انا وانتي كده ما نطلع برا انا وانتي ونعيش حياتنا كناس طبيعيين مش خايفين.
بطلي خوف بطلي رعب. نفسيتك بترتاح.
يب.
تخيلي الدنيا لو ايش فرقتنا كيف رح نتجمع.
ان شاء الله يكون خير.
Jamal, a university student, was attacked and filmed by the same gang as Layla and has been arrested twice by the police for sex work.
البلطجية اتعلموا من الشرطة كده، بيشوفوا بيتعاملنا ازاي ومفيش حاجة مخوفاه. أنا هربت من مشاكل البيت، كنت لسه عندي تقريبا 15 سنة، لسه عيل صغير ولازم إن أنا أشتغل، بس مفيش مكان قابل إن هو يشغلك، فبدأت أشتغل بيزنس عن طريق الأوردرات، المواعدة عن طريق الفلوس. أنا مش بسرق، أنا مش بأذي حد، بقابل الناس عن طريق الابليكيشن، مثلا هوز هير، جريندر، سناب شات. مفيش أي تطبيق آمن 100%. التطبيقات دي عليها برضه نسبة شرطة، بس مش نسبة عالية زي الهوز هير. اتعرفت على حد عن طريق الهوز هير، ولما رحت أقابله لقيته شرطة. القضية اتعملت 3 قضايا: ممارسة الفجور، التحريض على الفسق، وآداب. رحت السجن وقعدت أسبوع، بس أخدت براءة بقى.
Stories like Jamal's are everywhere online. Sex workers, regardless of gender, are regularly arrested after meeting policemen posing as potential clients or dates on apps and social media. Like in so many other countries, sex work is illegal in Egypt. But many people we've spoken to who identify as queer feel that the laws made to combat sex work are often used to arrest them for their sexuality alone. We've been given exclusive access to extraordinary police transcripts and investigation records that show in detail exactly how street-level police are targeting people online.
Have you slept with men before?
Yes.
How about we meet?
But I live with mom and dad.
Come on, dear. Don't be shy. We can meet in public and then go to my flat.
In Egypt, as in many places around the world, police can pose as somebody else in order to gather evidence of criminal behavior before deciding whether to take it to the public prosecutor. But reading the transcripts, it seems like some of these people are only looking for love or dates or even friendship online. In some of the transcripts, the police seem to be looking for evidence of sex work, a request for money, which legal experts tell us can help them secure a charge of indiscriminate sex, which is one of the main indicators of debauchery.
When our secret informant contacted the creator of the account, he asked for 2,000 Egyptian pounds for sex.
But there are also police transcripts where there's no mention of any financial transactions. And we have clear examples of this. Like in this one here, where the police describe finding a profile of a foreigner we're calling Matt on the popular gay dating app Grindr. The transcripts then claim that in conversations with a secret informant, Matt
admitted his perversion, his willingness to engage in debauchery for free, and sent pictures of himself and his body.
they explicitly comment on the fact that he was offering sex for free. Matt was arrested, charged with debauchery, and eventually deported. He was not willing to be filmed for this documentary, worrying that it could endanger and identify some friends of his who are also gay that work for a well-known company in Egypt. Egypt is a signatory of international agreements that protect the freedoms of individuals against arbitrary arrest. And Egypt's own constitution defends the right to dignity, equality, and crucially, from discrimination. But in 2016, Egypt led a group of 57 countries to reject a United Nations resolution for the protection of LGBTQ people's basic human rights.
We urge all member states to vote against the amendment. We note that the introduction of such controversial norms are not universally agreed upon and represent a very particular set of values and lifestyles that directly impinges on the social, cultural, and religious sensitivities of a large number of countries and promises to polarize.
The government is open about their tactics.
We recruited personnel in the virtual world to uncover the masses of group sex parties and homosexual gatherings.
Despite all this, the police forces in Egypt receive training from the UK via the UN, and the government gets billions of dollars of support from EU and US taxpayers, where LGBTQ people's rights are protected by law. We managed to track down a few people in the police transcripts, but only one person agreed to share his story. He says the police framed him as a sex worker, again on Who's Here, the same app Jamal was caught on.
The Who's Here profile says he wants to have indiscriminate sex with men for a fee of 1,000 Egyptian pounds. The profile owner sent over pornographic photos and his phone number.
We're calling him Laith. I'm meeting him in Paris to go through his evidence and see if it indicates he was targeted by the Egyptian police for his sexuality alone.
La Chapelle.
أهلاً. أخبارك؟ تمام، أنت الأخبار؟ الحمد لله. ممكن تفسر لي شوية كيف الشرطي اتصل فيك بالبداية؟
عادي لقيت نوتيفيكيشن على التليفون الصبح، ازيك عامل ايه؟ قال لي تعالى ننزل نشرب عصير، فنزلت انا قابلت الشخص، فجأة لقيت 4 واقفين ورايا، واحد ايده على كتفي. أول حاجة عملها زي توك ماي فون، تاني حاجة كلبشات. اترميت في أوضة بتاعت الآداب دي. هنا طبعا الدنيا كلها فجأة اسودت. فكانت أول مرة في حياتي وكانت آخر مرة أحاول أقتل نفسي. بس I was too weak إن أنا أنهيها بالمنظر ده.
ضربوك ولا لا؟
يعني مرة طفوا السيجارة في إيدي.
فعلا؟
Just left a mark here.
Really?
جم خدوني قال لي أنا ممكن أعمل لك أفلام في اللحظة وأعمل لك كيس قد كده لو ما اديتنيش أسامي.
مين اللي قال لك ده؟
الضابط.
فعلا؟
Laith believed the police officer wanted him to act as an informant to help them find and arrest his gay friends.
بس الكونفرسيشنز اللي بالكيس فايل كأنهم على تطبيق.
اللي اسمه الهوز هير. أنا ده عمري ما استعملته بالمرة.
خالص؟
معنى سهل جدا ان انا اخد تليفونك، انزل ابلكيشن واحط اعمل لك بروفايل عليه بصورك.
برايك يعني ازاي؟
انا كان عندي صور على البحر وصور ببوكسرز عاديه، فجاه بفوتوشوب حصل خلصوا الفايل وعملوا ابلود على تليفوني، بعتوا التليفون كايفيدنس للنائب العام.
Just being on the apps looking for a date can be grounds for arrest based on the incitement of debauchery or public morality laws in Egypt.
We confronted him with information and the screenshots of the conversation he had with the informant. He confessed that he is the owner of the Who's Here profile.
Laith denies that confession.
انت متاكد كل الصور دول مش انت؟
قارنوا الجسم ده بالجسم ده، الصور دي مش بتاعتي. shape of the lower body is not the shape of my lower body. انا عندي رجل اكبر من رجل. في 100 دليل لو كانوا جابوا لي طبيب شرعي يكشف، كان كلامي ضد كلامهم دايما.
Because the police confiscated Laith's phone and we only have access to grainy, photocopied police case files, we cannot independently verify his story. But we do know that 3 other people we spoke to who were afraid of speaking on the record also told us that the police forced or falsified confessions related to their cases. We cannot verify their stories. Laith was sentenced to 3 months in prison for habitual debauchery. His sentence was reduced to 1 month on appeal. He was studying full-time to become a contemporary dance teacher when he was arrested.
كان عندي حياة and I had enough money to live. كان عندي دانس سكول كل يوم 9 ساعات. سوري مش ضد ان الموضوع، بس انا كنت اكبر في اللحظه دي من ان انا اعمل سكس فور ماني. اما خرجت من السجن حسيت انا مش قادر ارقص تاني، بس لقيت نفسي برقص بطريقه مختلفه. دانس ريلي هيلز. بص دماغي ثابته مكانها. just to go around. بقيت جريء اكتر ان انا اعبر ان انا جاي. خلاني احس ان انا عايز ابقى فري اكتر.
After the 2017 crackdown, popular dating apps started to warn their users in Egypt about police possibly being on the apps, posing as potential dates. The dating app Who's Here offers no such warning. While not designed specifically for LGBTQ people, Who's Here cropped up in nearly every police transcript we have access to as a tool police use to find members of the community. It made an estimated $90,000 from in-app purchases in Egypt over the last 5 years. Cyber privacy experts have told us that Who's Here seems to have specific vulnerabilities that would allow hackers to scrape information like location on a large scale. And they say the way that Who's Here is collecting and storing data is likely in breach of privacy laws in the UK and the EU. We're going to get in touch with Who's Here in order to let them know about the issues we found. I'm back in Egypt, and there are more shocking videos circulating online about gang attacks.
أنا جاي من زمان.
انت ايه؟
جاي.
من اهلك عارفين ان انت كده؟ قوم وقف يا نظف البتاع اللي واقع ده. حاضر.
We think that this is Yahya's voice, but we can't be sure because there are many other criminal gangs operating around the country. I'm meeting Jamal to find out more about the gang and see if there might be a way for me to meet them.
ايه اللي اتغير بحياتك؟
لو حاجات إيجابية يبقى إن أنا اتخرجت من الجامعة.
اوف مبروك.
لما فيديوهاتنا نزلت حسيت إن أنا الدنيا انتهت بالنسبة لي. أهلي ادوروا عليا عشان يقتلوني وعشان يقدروا عايشين رافعين راسهم.
انت بتعتقد امك وابوك شافوا الفيديو؟
هما لما بياخدوا تليفوناتنا بيبقى متسجل عليها أرقام أهالينا، بيدخلوا على الخاص كده واحد يبعتوا له الفيديوهات.
والعصابة اللي هجموا عليك وضربوك؟
الكبير بتاعهم محبوس، مجرد ما نشوف شكله كده بيخوف.
Because we haven't been able to verify his legal identity, we've not been able to confirm why Bakkar was jailed.
من سنين معروف إن هو كده، بيسرق الناس كلها وعصابة وبيحبس الناس. شخص ما عندوش قلب عامة.
فيعني العصابة دي خلاص مش موجودة.
هما قلبهم مش بيقوى ولا بيعملوا حاجة غير هما متجمعين مع بعض، ويحيى بقى لوحده وملوش حد فبطل بقى. بس هقولك على حاجة، دول جاي.
فعلا؟
يعني يحيى اللي عمل فيكم هيك طلع جاي؟
إذا عايز أواجهه أقابله إزاي؟
عن طريق الابليكيشن، على إنك خليجي وتظبط معاه أوردر.
يعني بيشتغل سكس ورك.
أي حاجة بتجيب فلوس بيعملها عامة. هيقابلك ويعمل نفسه إن هو ملاك بريء بقى، وحاليا هو قاعد في فندق بيجيب خلايجة وبيجيب ناس وبيقابل ناس.
Given all the homophobic outbursts that I've seen from Yahya on social media, as well as in his extortion videos, it's kind of shocking to find out he's gay and a sex worker himself. But perhaps it's also telling and gives him a criminal edge because he's just as vulnerable as the people he targets. Yahya published Beast Stories. It's basically a series of videos of him licking his lips, winking at the camera, lifting up his clothing. In some of the images, he's half naked. You can also see a very sexually explicit video in the background of what appears to be him having sex with someone else. I need to meet Yahya to confront him with the evidence we've gathered. For several weeks, we've been talking to security experts about how I can meet with him. The only way is to pose as someone else. It's incredibly uncomfortable. But before I do, one of our producers is going to meet Yahya as a potential client in order to identify him. We also want to see for ourselves how the deceit Yahya uses online to find and attack his victims plays out in real life. Yahya agreed to meet our producer in a hotel cafe. There's airport-style security in all major hotels in Cairo, run by the government's tourist police.
احنا سمعنا انه كثير سهل الواحد يدفع رشوة عشان يسكت الأوتيل.
We're choosing to hide Yahya's face because, as a gay person and sex worker, he's also a risk.
أنا أول مرة بسوي هيك شيء يعني شوي ملبك. عايز تشرب حاجة تقعد هيك خلينا نقعد ندردش. أنت ما تخافش إنه ما يجي وشك عادي بالأبليكيشن وهيك.
ما عنديش حاجة على التليفون.
ما بتخافش حدا يعمل لك أي حاجة لأنه سمعت بمصر يعني مشكلة.
الفنادق لا. طول ما أنت معاه ما تقلقش. الأمن هنا عندها والأمن. أنا كل غرضي بيبقى الكاش بس. أنا مالي بقى أنا حد بحب الهدوء. حصل معك حاجة قبل كده؟
يعني أنا بعرف أصدقائي يعني مثلا يكونوا راحوا عند حدا وبعدين بيصورهم بدون ما يعرفوا بعدين يبتزوهم المصاري ولا مصاري زي كده.
إيه القرف ده؟ أنت ليه كل شوية تبص كده؟
يقول لك عم تطلع مين في عالم. نحن انكشف.
It's quite revealing to see how Yahya was reassuring the producer and how innocently he presented himself when the extortion videos were brought up. Layla got a call from the UNHCR, the main agency handling her asylum application, telling her to expect news about a flight to Sweden soon. Her request for asylum has finally been approved.
ما صدقت يعني فكرتهم بيمزحوا معي أو شيء أو فكرت إنه حتى رقم فاك إلا لما تأكدت وحكى لي رقم ملف يعني فانبسطت يعني حسيت بشيء غريب إنه بجد إنه خلص يعني خلاص وأخيراً كل هاي الأيام يعني رح تخلص رح أشتاق للنيل تقعد هيك على النيل وتشم النيل وقالوا لي أهم إشي يعني وأنا طالعة على المطار لازم أكون ستريت يعني شوي باللبس وهيك ما أكون ملفت قلت لهم أوكي ما عندي مشكلة تضايقت يعني كنت بدي ألبس دريس مثلاً وأعمل فول ميك اب وأطلع خلص بس أوكي يعني مش مشكلة رح أعمل هيدا الشي كله برا فالموضوع هيفرق معاي يعني
It's time for me to connect with Yahya. He just replied to a message I sent him.
صور لي الكاش وصور لي الجواز ولو كده أنا باجي لك على طول.
He'll only agree to meet after seeing a picture of the passport and money. He just sent me a voice note.
بس يعني انت بتحجز غرفتي وما تقلقش يعني هذا الفندق ما بيتكلموش ولا حاجة فاهم؟ احنا على طول قاعدين يعني بنعمل اوردرات فيه كتير.
I don't feel safe being alone in a hotel room with Yahya. We just heard from a source close to him that Yahya recently stole $2,000 from a sex tourist he met on an app. On his profile, he asks for only people from the Gulf. So I'm gonna try to put on an accent to get him to agree to meet me in a public space.
ممكن نفك الكام؟
نفك الكام ما أدري.
أشوفك بس.
أنا مستحي والله مو متعود. أنا أفتح لك الكام إذا
عادي أنا أشوفك وأنت تشوفني نشوف وش بعض بس حتى أنت تشوف وشي برضه تطمن.
أول مرة أنا أسوي كذي.
أنت مستحي دلوقتي هتستحي لا مش تستحي لما نكون في الفندق مع بعض.
يعني ما بيك تزعل مني بس ببطء أحب أمشي.
طيب يا أخوي.
ألو.
خلاص حبي آسف مش هقدر أخذك.
ليه؟ خفت مني؟
أصلك أنا
ليه حبيبي خايف ليه؟
تعالى وكده لا.
بس أنا ما أحب يعني أطلع دغري عند مع واحد أنا ما أعرفه يعني سامحني أنا سامع قصص وايد بمصر.
عايز قابلني في الغرفة فوق. أنا خايف والله أنا خايف.
أنا خايف كمان. أي كلام ما بعرف يعني إنه موضوع إنه ما بدنا نطلع على الغرفة هاي صعبة.
We're gonna keep trying to meet Yahya safely in a public place. But right now, he's scared, and so am I.
مش مصدقة امتى رح تيجي هاي اللحظة والطيارة تقلع. باي باي كايرو. حتى البنايات هون بمصر شكلها حلو هيك كتير فيها سكان وعالية. ما رح نشوف هاي الأشياء بالسويد. تعرف الشغلات اللي بشوفهم بالتلفزيون هيك يعني إنه البيت اللي بيكون شكله زي الكوخ هايد وخشب برد وتلج وأنزل ألعب بالتلج. رح أشتاق كتير لأصحابي يعني رح أبلش حياة جديدة وأروح على مكان جديد مكان ما بعرف فيه حدا. بس نفس ممكن عشان أنا متوترة ساعديني. يلا خلص هنزل.
آخر حضن.
جد دير بالك على حالك أوكي؟ حاول تكون كتير قوية كتير.
بحاول.
شعري قبلي رح يتحرر. شايفي شكلي وأحلامي من غير كاب؟
If real-world change is unlikely to come from inside Egypt anytime soon, I wonder if the online world here can be made safer by social media and dating app companies based abroad. Posing as a user, we asked Who's Here for help with unsafe features of the app multiple times without any response. It was only after the BBC formally approached Who's Here that the app changed its settings, removing the seeking same-sex selection, which was putting people who choose it at risk of identification. Google, Apple, and other app stores where users download Who's Here take up to 30% of all in-app purchases. So they're earning money from an app that's likely opening its users up to privacy infringements and appears to be the app of choice for security forces looking for LGBTQ people in Egypt. Then, suddenly, we got news that Yahya had gone to the Gulf for work. We had lost contact and any hope of meeting him. Now, finally, we may be able to make it happen. In a sense, Yahya is one of the most fascinating characters in this documentary because he's both a victim, like everybody else, of this hostile environment, but he's also very much a manifestation of that homophobia where not only gangs and criminals, but individuals and police, feel free to target queer people because they are vulnerable.
Yes, so that's his Snapchat.
We have 2 producers on the ground. One of our producers is going to meet with him in person, and we're going to be conducting a remote interview, hopefully, if Yahya agrees to meet with us. We've been tracking the play-by-play over the phone as they follow Yahya on social media.
He just left his house. Yeah, so he's on his way.
By now, he's presumably told him that, we're journalists and we're hoping to interview him. This is really the moment of truth where we find out if Yahya is really willing to sort of help us dig a little bit deeper and understand what's motivating a lot of his behavior.
He needs some time to think if he's going to share with us or not. He understands fully all the allegations against him. He's saying he's the victim, not them.
So you did tell him we have video evidence of him committing crimes, basically?
I did. He's going to make a lot of accusations against others. He asked me about the names of the people who accused him, and he started mentioning people's names that I don't know.
You think he wants to tell his side of the story in the doc?
I think he's coming. Definitely he's coming. I
Good.
think he now understands the severity.
The stakes, yeah. But we'll find out in an hour. Then, someone claiming to be Yahya's sister called our producer.
أنا عم بعطيه حق بجد. لا يحيى. لا إحنا ما عندناش حق رد عشان مش هو أصلاً. أنا عندي فيديو هو ظاهر وشه فيه. الكلام معنا خلص وما تتصلش تاني على أخويا. أحمد.
سكرات?
سكرات
It seems like he's scared and he called in his reinforcement, the person I'm assuming he trusts most and someone he finds to be threatening, which is his sister, right? دافع عنه.
In a WhatsApp exchange a few days later, Yahya denied involvement in any attacks. I'm feeling frustrated that we'll never get to hear Yahya's whole story. أهلاً.
يا الله شو مبسوطة.
The reality is that asylum seekers and refugees have high rates of depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorders.
Even though I know it's going to be challenging for her at the beginning to adjust to a new country, new culture, new language, I really hope that she's in a safer place here.
بيتي المتواضع.
المتواضع. ترى حلو.
وهين إقامة.
خلاص صرت سويدية.
حياة جديدة، ناس جديدة، وأدخل المدرسة.
طب فرجينا.
هون في سكر. بالسويدي سكر.
وشاي، عندك شاي.
وأويل. جابوا لي غسالة يعني أول استخدام أنا.
أنت حاسة بالأمان؟ already يعني؟
هلا شفت الجيران كلهم هاي وبيضحكوا. يعني انا نازل بشعري وعادي ها. ما فيش مثلا تنمر او ما فيش نظرات وحشه زي مصر، فاهم؟ هاي هاي أنا مش كتير بحب أقص شعري، بس مكان جديد وحتى شعري يعني رح يتنفس هيك. تاك
As we come to the end of our investigation, I'm wondering about Jamal, Saeed, Mustafa, and all the people we met along the way. Sara Higazi's story, and even Yahya. I hope their stories can be a catalyst for more constructive conversations about the human rights and dignity of queer people, and that the pressure from society and government will one day subside so they can feel safe at home in Egypt.